am here giving you some insurance information. Well, I'm not, but Tiffany Turlich with Allstate Insurance will be giving you some 411. So I have a few questions for her. So Tiffany, number one, can you give us all an explanation as to why a lot of homeowners insurance recently is skyrocketing? It's going through the roof. What you got?
Hey Brittany, thanks so much for including me in your series. So as she mentioned, I am Tiffany Turlich from Roberts Family Allstate Agency. We're a local Allstate over here in Harahan, and Brittany was asking me about the increased rates, especially for homeowners in our area. So we all know a lot of those rates were due to Hurricane Ida last year. So after Hurricane Ida hit, a lot of the insurance companies decided to pull out of the state, which kind of made it a very smaller market, and only a few agencies are writing right now. So us being one of them, we do have a couple options for everyone. You might see higher rates at some of these providers that are still here, but that could be because of Ida or because of the higher costs of the rebuilding the houses. So your replacement cost estimator might have increased, and that could be higher labor costs, higher lumber costs, fuel costs, all the same costs that we are seeing the increases in all over in our city and the United States. So if you do see higher rates, definitely shop around. We definitely have some good options over here at Allstate, and we would love to help you.
All right, can you explain flood risk 2.0?
Great question, Brittany. So flood risk rating 2.0 is a new risk rating that was put in place in October of 2021. So FEMA believes that the new risk rating, the risk rating 2.0, will provide more fair ratings and more equitable ratings across all policyholders. That being said, some of these new rates that we're seeing after October of 2021 are higher than what the rate was before October 2021. So some advice we can give policyholders or new buyers is to make sure you're asking your real estate agent or the seller that if they have a flood policy in place. It's probably the best option in regards to premium price to go ahead and ask to assume that current policy that seller has in place. And this is something you should be able to do across the board. We do it all day at our office. If anybody gives you any trouble, you can definitely call me. I've helped a lot of people with this assumption, and it's usually a pretty simple process.
What is the wildest claim you have ever seen for insurance?
I have my sister, Melissa Roberts, here with me. She's been doing this for over 16 years, and so she's going to chat about her wildest claim she's dealt with.
So a couple of them come to mind, but one that I think I should talk about is that a client had a huge claim in 2020, and he put a claim in, he got paid for it, and within a year had to put another claim in for Ida. So it was very frustrating for him, and it's crazy because he fixed everything, he kept all his receipts, he showed proof of it being fixed. We got all the documentation together, and then a year later had to file another claim, and he's still working on it at this point because everything's taking a little while to get completed, but he's finally getting his house done. Another one, and this happened to several people out in La Place, is rising water versus wind and hail hurricane damage. So when you have both of those happening, which way do I go? Well, a lot of people had to claim them on both policies, which is a headache, but they did, and they most of the time paid out on both. So how you can tell is flood policy is going to be rising water. Water's coming from the ground up, coming into your home. Hurricane is going to be wind driven, coming from the roof and possibly from the sides, not from the ground up. So that's the way you can tell. But like I said, a lot of people during Ida in La Place did have both, and they got paid on both. And most of them had, not most, but a good bit had total reconstructions, and they're back in their houses, thank God.
Right, for sure. And it's great to understand your two coverages, your flood and your wind, because then when you do go to put a claim in, you can understand which one you would call for what, and then if you do have to speak to both, you can kind of help guide the adjuster on what happened for wind-driven rain, and then rising water.
And if you ever have any questions on that, and to be specific, you can always call our agency. We love to help people that even aren't with us. We'd love to help you out. Thank you.
And lastly, what advice do you have for the buyers, sellers, people looking? What advice do you have?
Yes, over at Roberts Allstate Agency, we do help a lot of first-time home buyers. Even if you're not a first-time home buyer, it still can be a confusing time while you are purchasing a home or looking to purchase a home. So some advice we would give someone is, as soon as you can, get in touch with your insurance agent or get in touch with us, and we can get you a homeowner's quote. You definitely want to see what you're looking at in regards to rates and premiums that you'll be paying, because all that is going to be factored into your monthly amount that you will be paying your mortgage company, because it will be included in your escrow.
We did find the past few months when some of these other insurance companies did leave, people had one price and then they needed to get another. Sometimes they even doubled. So definitely follow up with your insurance agent maybe 2 weeks after they give you the quote. Just make sure everything's still the same. Have they heard that the rates are changing, or if their company's closing? Again, you always can call us. We are here. Allstate is not going anywhere. So just give us a call, but always check your quotes, your policies, and talk to your insurance agent.
Yes. And to kind of follow up with a question we had answered earlier, always ask if you can assume that flood policy if the seller has it.
Yes.
That's definitely a new buyer advice item that we touch on a lot that can really save you a lot of money.
And as a seller, don't cancel your flood, because you could sell that with your home, and it is definitely something that buyers want.
Definitely.
Thank you, Miss Tiffany. Go ahead and leave your information. Tell everybody how they can get in touch with you and your great team out in the Ridge. All right, guys, give Tiffany and her team a call.
So everybody can find me over in Harahan, not necessarily the Ridge, but we're right close to River Ridge. You can find me over in Harahan at Roberts Family Allstate. Our number is 504-739-1700. My email address is my first initial and my last name at allstate.com, tturlich@allstate.com. And then Melissa's going to give y'all some stuff too.
And my name is Melissa Roberts. We're the co-owners of the Roberts Family Agency. Our door is always open. We'd love to answer any questions. My email is m.roberts@allstate.com. And again, the phone number 504-739-1700. Thank y'all.
you.